Complete test. Paper. Listening. Part A, page 515. In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversations and talks in English. There are 3 parts to this section. Answer all the questions on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers you hear. Do not take notes or write in your test book at any time. Do not turn the pages until you are told to do so. Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that color of the answer you have chosen. Listen to an example. On the recording you hear,
"That exam was just awful."
Oh, it could have been worse.
What does the woman mean? In your test book, you read, A. The exam was just awful. B. It was the worst exam she had ever seen.
Number 1.
You'd better take the car to the garage from now on. They charged me $75 for a few minor repairs.
That's not too bad.
What does the man mean? Number 2.
The International Students Association is having a party Saturday night. Can you come, or do you have to work at the hospital?
Ed.
What will the woman probably do? Number 3.
I think that the game starts at 8.
Good. We have just enough time to get there.
What will the speakers probably do? Number 4.
What did you do after you lost your passport?
I went to see the foreign student advisor, and he reported it to the passport office in Washington.
What did the man do after he lost his passport? Number 5.
If you don't have an account here, I can't cash your check. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
Well, thanks a lot. You're a big help.
What does the woman mean?
Number 6. Do you have to play that music so loud? I've got a test tomorrow.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were studying.
What will the woman probably do? Number 7.
Pam, I don't understand the problem. You've known for months this report was due today.
I know, but I'm afraid I need another few days. The data was harder to interpret than I thought it would be.
What does the woman mean? Number 8.
So how are you getting along with Debbie's cat?
Well, she never comes when I call her. She spills her food, and she sheds all over the place. I can't wait till Debbie gets back.
What does the man imply? Number 9.
This crazy bus schedule has got me completely frustrated. I can't for the life of me figure out when my bus to Cleveland leaves.
Why don't you just go up to the ticket window and ask?
What does the woman suggest the man do?
Number 10. I bought this fish to cook for my dinner tonight, but it doesn't look all that fresh to me now. Would you say it's still all right to eat?
Let's take a look. Oh, if I were you, I wouldn't even think of it.
What does the woman mean?
Number 11. Traffic downtown was terrible today.
You don't have to tell me.
What does the woman imply? Number 12.
I wish my classes were over so I could get out and enjoy the sunshine.
Nice out there, isn't it?
What does the man mean? Number 13.
Gary's using that old tape player of yours.
He's welcome to it.
What does the woman mean? Number 14.
I'm going to make a run for it. You don't happen to have an umbrella I can borrow, do you?
No, but here's a newspaper.
What does the man imply the woman should do with the newspaper? Number 15.
I think Ed is the best choice for president of the student assembly.
So do I, out of the race.
What does the woman mean?
Number 16.
Did you pick up some French bread at the bakery?
A sign on the window said closed. Please call again. What does the man mean? Number 17.
I'm nervous about the job interview I have this afternoon.
Relax. Just let them know about your background. It's perfect for the job.
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 18.
I really don't see the value of these. They look like the kind of pictures my 4-year-old nephew paints.
And I'll bet he uses brighter colors, too.
What can be inferred about the speakers? Number 19. Are you flying or taking the train home for the summer?
Neither. Since I've got this job at the university library, my parents are just going to come visit sometime in July.
What does the woman mean? Number 20.
Do you have any idea when tonight's rehearsal will be over?
Beats me. You could try asking Jeff.
What does the man mean?
Number 21.
How is your experiment coming along?
It's finished, but it didn't turn out quite like I thought it would.
What does the man mean? Number 22.
Barbara sure likes to talk on the phone.
If only she liked her classes as well.
What does the man imply about Barbara? Number 23.
My allergies are really bothering me. I guess I'll have to go to the doctor.
If I were you, over-the-counter medications first. They usually do the job.
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 24.
What did you decide about the scholarship? Did you fill out the application?
I'm going to give it all I've got.
What does the woman mean? Number 25.
Hello, Anne. This is Robert.
Oh, hi, Robert. I was just about to call you.
What does the woman mean?
This coin you found is worth a lot. It's quite rare.
Oh, an expert, are you?
What does the man imply about the woman? Number 27.
That sure is a catchy song.
You're telling me. The melody's been running through my head all week.
What can be concluded about the song?
Number 28.
You look great in this picture, Larry. Look how you're smiling.
So you did take that picture of me after all.
What had the man originally assumed? Number 29.
Hotel rooms along the beach must be very expensive.
Not now. During the off-season, they're dirt cheap.
What does the man say about the hotel rooms? Number 30.
Who was that woman you were talking to at the reception?
That was Carol Donovan. She was my sister's roommate in college.
How is the woman acquainted with Carol Donovan?
This is the end of Part A. B.
Now read along with the directions for Part B in your textbook as they are read to you on the tape.
Part B. Directions. This part of the test consists of extended conversations between two speakers. After each of these conversations, there are a number of questions. You will hear each conversation and question only once, and the questions are not written out. When you have heard the questions, read the 4 answer choices and select the one, A, B, C, or D, that best answers the question, based on what is directly stated or on what can be inferred. Then fill in the space on your answer sheet that matches the letter of the answer that you have selected. Don't forget, during actual exams, taking notes or writing in your test book is not permitted.
Now we will begin Part B with the first conversation.
Questions 31 through 34. Listen to a discussion about the Ice Age.
Hey, Jane. What's so interesting?
What? Oh, hi, Tom. I'm reading this fascinating article on the societies of the Ice Age during the Pleistocene period.
The Ice Age? There weren't any societies then. There were just small groups of people living in caves, right?
That's what people used to think, but a new exhibit at the American Museum of Natural History shows that Ice Age people were surprisingly advanced.
Oh, really? In what ways?
Well, Ice Age people were the inventors of language, art, and music as we know it, and they didn't live in caves. They built their own shelters.
What did they use to build them? The cold weather would have killed off most of the trees, so they couldn't have used wood.
In some of the warmer climates, they did build houses of wood. In other places, they used animal bones and skins, or shelters.
How did they stay warm? Animal skin walls don't sound very sturdy.
Well, it says here that in the early Ice Age, they often faced their homes toward the south to take advantage of the sun, a primitive sort of solar heating.
Hey, that's pretty smart.
Then people in the late Ice Age even insulated their homes by putting heated cobblestones on the floor.
I guess I spoke too soon. Can I read that magazine article after you're done? I think I'm going to try to impress my anthropology teacher with my amazing knowledge of Ice Age civilization.
What a show-off.
Number 31. What did the man think about people of the Ice Age? Number 32. What does the woman say about the use of wood during the Ice Age? Number 33. How did people in the early Ice Age keep warm? Number 34. What does the man want the woman to do?
Questions 35 through 38. Listen to a conversation about a man's great-grandmother.
I talked to my great-grandmother on the phone this morning.
Your great-grandmother? Do you talk with her often?
I try to call her at least once a week. She's a really wonderful woman, and she's over 85 years old. I enjoy talking to her, standing, and because she gives me good advice.
What advice did she have for you today?
She told me to be careful because a big storm is coming.
She said that a big storm is coming? Is she a weather forecaster?
Not exactly. She says that she can feel it in her bones when a storm is coming. I know it sounds funny, but when she feels it in her bones that a storm is coming, she's usually right.
That's not actually so funny. When people get older, the tissue around their joints can become stiff and swollen. Just before a storm, the air pressure often drops, and this drop in air pressure can cause additional pressure and pain in swollen joints. So when your great-grandmother tells you she thinks a storm is coming, she probably has some aching in her joints from the decreasing air pressure.
Then I had better pay more attention to my great-grandmother's weather forecasts.
Number. How often does the man usually talk to his great-grandmother? Number 36. What did the man's great-grandmother tell him on the phone this morning? Number 37. Where does the man's great-grandmother say that she feels a storm coming? Number 38. What will the man probably do in the future?
Now read along as the directions for Part C are being read. Part C. Directions. In this part of the test you will hear several short talks. After each talk you will hear some questions. The talks and the questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording, you hear, "Listen to an instructor talk to his class about a television program."
I'd like to tell you about an interesting TV program that'll be shown this coming Thursday. It'll be 10 p.m. on Channel 4. It's part of a series called Mysteries of Human Biology. And the subject of the program is the human brain, how it functions and how it can malfunction. Topics that will be covered are dreams, memory, and depression. These topics are illustrated with outstanding computer animation that makes the explanations easy to follow. Make an effort to see this show. Since we've been studying the nervous system in class, I know you'll find it very helpful.
Now, listen to a sample question. What is the main purpose of the program? In your test book, you read, A, to demonstrate the latest use of computer graphics. B, to discuss the possibility of an economic depression. C, to explain the workings of the brain. D, to dramatize a famous mystery story. To the question, what is the main purpose of the program, is C, to explain the workings of the brain. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Now listen to another sample question. Why does the speaker recommend watching the program? In your test book, you read, A, it is required of all science majors. B, it will never be shown again. C, it can help viewers improve their memory skills. D, it will help with coursework. The best answer to the question, why does the speaker recommend watching the program, is D, it will help with coursework. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book.
Now let's begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 39 to 42. Listen to a talk given at a ceremony.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome the president of Colton College, the chancellors, the administrators, my fellow faculty members, and the students to the Academic Excellence Awards Night. Our first award for Faculty Member of the Year goes to Professor Patricia Callahan. I'm particularly pleased that this year's winner is from my own department. Professor Callahan has been at Colton College for a total of 8 years now, 2 as a graduate student and 6 as a faculty member. She has consistently received top evaluations from the students as well as from her department head. Her papers on historical economics are well respected by all of her colleagues, including myself, if I may say so. And this year, she received a government grant to continue her work of better models of the economy. Please join me, ladies and gentlemen, in giving a round of applause to Professor Callahan.
Number 39. What is the purpose of this talk? Number 40. Who is the speaker? Number 41. What subject does Professor Callahan probably teach? Number 42. For how many years has Professor been a teacher at Colton College?
Questions 43 through 46. Listen to a professor in a business class.
I hope you've all finished reading the assigned chapter on insurance, so that you're prepared for our discussion today. But before we start, I'd like to mention a few things your text doesn't go into. It's interesting to note that insurance has existed in some form for a very long time. The earliest insurance policies were what were called bottomry contracts. They provided shipping protection for merchants as far back as 3000 BCE. In general, the contracts were often no more than verbal agreements. They granted loans to merchants with the understanding that if a particular shipment of goods was lost at sea, the loan paid. Interest on the loans varied according to how risky it was to transport the goods. During periods of heavy piracy at sea, for example, the amount of interest and the cost of the policy went up considerably. So you can see how insurance helped encourage international trade. Even the most cautious merchants became willing to risk shipping their goods over long distances, not to mention in hazardous weather conditions, when they had this kind of protection available. Generally speaking, the basic form of an insurance policy has been pretty much the same since the Middle Ages. There are 4 points that were salient then and remain paramount in all policies today. These were outlined in Chapter 6 and will serve as the basis for the rest of today's discussion. Can anyone tell me what one of those points might be?
Number 43. What is the purpose of the professor's talk? Number 44. Who were the first insurance contracts designed to protect? Number 45. What does the professor say determined the cost of early insurance policies? Number 46. What does the professor say about current insurance policies?
Questions 47 through 50. Talk by a college instructor in an English class.
So many different kinds of writing have been called essays, it is difficult to define exactly what an essay is. Perhaps the best way is to point out 4 characteristics that are true of most essays. First, an essay is about one topic. It does not start with one subject and digress to another and another. Second, although a few essays are long enough to be considered a small book, most essays are short. 500 words is the most common length for an essay. Third, an essay is written in prose, not poetry. True, Alexander Pope did call 2 of his poems essays, but that word is part of a title. And after all, the essay on man and the essay on criticism really are not essays at all. They are long poems. And probably most important, an essay is personal. It is the work of one person whose purpose is to share a thought, idea, or point of view. Let me also state here that since an essay is always personal, the term personal essay is redundant. Now, taking into consideration all of these characteristics, perhaps we can now define an essay as a short prose composition with a personal viewpoint that discusses one topic. With that in mind, let's brainstorm some topics for your first essay assignment.
Number 47. What is the instructor defining? Number 48. What is the main point of Number 49. According to the talk, which of the characteristics are not true of an essay? Number 50. What will the students probably do as an assignment?
CameraFi.